Okay. Uh, that's myself and Olena. You should know me by now because we're literally Cricket Nomad and my podcast series with famous cricketers from the boundary line. And today I have a very special guest, Olena. Just to put this in perspective, my guest today, my previous guest, Darryl Cullinan, world famous South African Test batsman who scored over 4,500 Test runs, including 14 centuries against all the top cricket playing nations in the world. She always does that. And then Peter Kirsten, who scored more than 23,000 first-class runs. And then my third guest so far on this podcast series was Neil Radford, the Worcestershire, England, and Transvaal Med Machine fast bowler that took over 950 wickets in first-class cricket, including some Test wickets. He got 8 Test wickets playing for England. So all of them had one thing in common. They were famous cricketers that performed on the cricket field, that scored runs, took wickets. And my guest today hasn't scored one run on a cricket field ever. She's never set a foot on a proper cricket field and played a match. She's never bowled a ball in her life in a match, and she's never taken a catch. So it's a nice introduction. So the question is probably, so on a cricket program, cricket podcast, why would I have Olena on? And the answer is actually, I'm going to tell you, out of all my guests, Olena has something absolutely unique, a unique story to tell. And that is what makes this podcast especially special for me. And I'm going to give a brief introduction and then I'm going to let Olena tell you her story and who she is. Who is Olena? Olena is, on the cricket side, she's the only Ukrainian and the first ever to be ICC accredited. Olena holds the ICC coaching certificate. She's also my partner in my business, in the company we have set up Pro Coach. The company basically what we do is we both work in schools. We share a passion. We both love children. And I have a passion for cricket. Olena now, in the past 2 months, has developed the same passion for cricket. And what Olena has achieved in the past 2 months, it's actually, I don't think I can actually describe it. It's unbelievable. In my 30 plus years involved in top level cricket as a player, played professional cricket in the UK for 11 seasons. I was CEO of Cricket Kenya, cricket academies that I set up in Dubai. I was director of cricket at the University of Cape Town for 14 years. And I've never seen, and I was in Holland as national youth coach for the Dutch cricket board. And I've never seen anybody in, as I say, 30 plus years of cricket achieved what Olena has achieved in the past 2 months in such a short time. I'm going to run through some of the achievements very quickly, and then Olena will tell us about herself, as I promised. First of all, ICC accredited certified coach, the only and first Ukrainian to ever do that. She's just returned from the UK with me. We took a group of Ukrainian children over. We had an invitation from rugby school, which is probably the most prestigious school in the United Kingdom. We spent a week there with our children. We had extensive training with coaches from rugby, and Neil Radford joined us. Olena appeared, her picture took a quarter of a page in the Daily Telegraph, where the Daily Telegraph did an article on our program at rugby school, and I expected it to be in sport pages, and I thought, wow, that's a huge achievement. And I went that morning, I bought the paper, and I knew it was going to be in on the Friday. Tim Winkmore, the Daily Telegraph cricket correspondent, told me it would be in that Friday. So I bought the newspaper early that morning. I started paging through the sport pages, nothing. I took the main section and I started from the back, I go to page 7, 6, 5, 3, and then on page 3 of the main section of the Telegraph, half a page on our call it our cricket adventure rugby school, a quarter of a page photograph picture of Olena, and it just blew me away. And then also did a podcast with myself with Wisdom Cricket, the famous cricket magazine. They also call it the Cricket Bible, the oldest cricket magazine in the world. We did 2 podcasts together for Stephen Wallace on his notorious The Paddock and the Pavilion podcast. It's a fantastic name. I don't know where Stephen got that from, but I really love the name. I'm going to try to change mine from the boundary line to something, if I can get a paddock in somewhere. I think we'll just add that extra touch and maybe replace the cricket nomad. The cricket nomad is now in his paddock. I found my place. I'm going to be living in Ukraine. And I think so the nomad is not going to be a nomad anymore. He's now going to be in his paddock. So I think that's a nice introduction to this podcast. And I'm going to go to Olena, who as usual, she's on her phone. And I'll tell you why. Because Olena, cricket isn't her full-time job. Like, I only do cricket. That's what Kobus does. He sleeps, eats and drinks cricket. Olena has a full-time job. She'll tell you about it. And while we're doing cricket, she's doing a full-time job, which she'll tell you more about later. So I'm going to introduce you now to Olena, and then we'll just have a chat in a lovely coffee shop in Kiev. I have to mention, you probably hear a sound in the background. We're sitting there with a generator on, power is off. We get up to 14, 16 hours a day with no power. The Ukrainian people get very excited about it. We have a guy here, Jared, in the background, that's absolutely talking, and he's so excited about this power cut, so you can hear him in the background going on about the power cut. But let Jared have his fun, enjoy his moment of generator moment. We're going to continue with our chat. Olena, it took me a while, it's quite a long introduction.
Yeah, should I say something else?
I think we can finish the podcast. But let me start by asking you, you've now been the Telegraph, your story today, you had some very special, call it experience, of a milestone in your career, especially in your cricket career, if you don't mind. We start with what happened today? What made today so special?
People will wake up tonight, it was already special, great.
Just to wake up.
And I had a nice sleep, and it makes, I don't know about you. But okay, if you're about the this function, but no problem, so I couldn't say anything with this high passion. Say high passion, I don't know.
Strong passion.
Yeah, strong passion. Okay. So because, like you say, it's my old story, my career, I never thought it's going to be like it's not so easy. So yeah, it's passion is something I have like to do, but I never look at this like on a job or work I have to do. It's why when you say it's my career, I don't know what to think. Well, because I have a job, I have some responsibilities, I do it, I work for people, I'm self-employed, and I try to achieve something and have some result, and maybe, of course, have an income for a whole week. It's not the career, it's just like passionate because of kids, because somehow I have some extra time. I believe. For example, my bosses, they don't believe they have extra time, so that's why during this tour to the UK, I was twice, I was fired. But maybe just because of lack of people in Ukraine, people who can take responsibility for something. They can be, can work multitasking. So that's why I'm still here. I still have the job. But
I would look at that in a different way. I think you use a charming smile that you've got and you just charm your way back into your job. I think it's very hard to fire you.
it doesn't work that. It doesn't work well. They're two both incredible people. I like them. Yeah, almost my friend, but business is business. Yeah, so yeah. So no, it's not about all this.
I'm going to go back to you mentioned something there where career and I see career and you said you don't significant as career and passion. Now, I personally believe a lot of people have careers where they're very successful, but they're not really that passionate about their career. It's an income. I know a lot of guys here in Ukraine that work in IT, IT experts, and I do a lot of English classes for English speaking classes for IT companies here, and I talk to these guys, and a lot of them hate their jobs. They sit in front of the computer all day doing IT, but it's one of the higher income careers or professions in Ukraine at the moment. IT guys.
At least they believe in it.
Yeah, but it's a job to it's an interim means. It's a way to make money, but most of them probably they actually sometimes hate it.
Yeah, some specific skills that you're trying to get and try to use them in the right way, in the right place. Yeah, and have
it's a career. It makes money. But I think when people do something out of passion, I love that word because for me, everything I've done in my whole life is about passion. I don't do something if I'm not passionate about it. And after that interview today, I just want to add there, this channel 1+1, that when I was on today, the episode or the story will be screened on Thursday morning on channel 1+1. Now, that is Ukraine's national channel. A good interview there would get up to 175,000 views in Ukraine because it is a national TV channel and there's not that many television channels at the moment operating in Ukraine because of the war. So this interview today, it's a big deal. I mean, a lot of people are going to see that in Ukraine. And I'm very glad about that because up to now, most of your fun, your story has been told from the UK, but not so much in Ukraine. So I think this is your story needs to be told in Ukraine. So I think this interview today is, as I say, it's really a big deal. And the lady that interviewed you, she told me after what is amazing today with Olena's interview is I saw the passion in her when she was speaking about this particular project for children in Ukraine. I could see the passion. I mean, I could see the passion in my eyes. So for me, that makes it even more special. And I think that's why we work so well together in this project. Is that we share that passion, not necessarily for cricket yet, the start of cricket, but cricket is a way to meet the children. And we share that common passion and love for children. And I believe that is what makes this project even more special. So I would like to ask you, it's unbelievable. There's no one in this coffee shop. It's only me and the minute I start my podcast, all of this complex come running in here. I think, unfortunately, that's what happened when you become famous like Olena. I think after this interview on Friday, we have 1+1. Wherever she goes, we're going to have a crowd. We're going to have to get body cards.
yeah, don't worry,
So,
just don't.
Olena's staying in the angles of it. Out of the camera, because when I'm sitting next to her, I'm being told it's a bit like the beauty and the beast. So, and I'm definitely not the beauty. I try to cut myself out of this podcast. But to get back to talk on a serious note, because this is something very close to my life. And just tell us a little bit about Olena. Olena is a little girl in Ukraine that you grew up in Kiev, in a city, maybe in a smaller place, your family. Tell us a bit about your early days. Who is Olena?
I'm not from Turkey. All my childhood was spent in Turkey. Big or small and village. Thousands of villages in Ukraine. It's not like kind of UK village. It's really different. My parents, my family, they work, the kids on is it to say on fields,
On the fields,
like
yes.
farms.
Like
Yeah.
farm.
So the farmers, they yes, you also.
I can't see this far, unfortunately. Ben mentioned the word, oh, it's just my eyesight. From all the cricket balls I've watched in my life, my eyesight is yes, with bad. Okay, you can, yeah, your parents, you grew up in a smaller place, Fox sort of a farm girl, that they make their living farmers.
Yeah, families. We have gardens. We have
Yeah, vegetable garden.
garden.
Yes, you grow your potatoes, tomatoes.
Special word for the place.
Uh,
Vegetable.
What vegetables do you have in your vegetable potatoes?
I mean, yes, it's everything. It's cucumber, potatoes, carrots, and beetroot. It's I don't know, it's everything. Pumpkin. We do lots of things.
But that's not a garden.
Peel,
It's not a garden, it's a farm.
No,
So
it's what we have in villages. You grow vegetables, fruits. You have your meat, pigs, chicken,
You make your own
rabbit.
dish, your own
Yes,
vegetable
I
soup.
mean, everything what you have on the table, usually you have it from yeah, from your yard. People spend a huge amount of time. I mean, from early morning till late evening. Usually it's elder sister.
And was that you?
No.
Oh, you've got older sister.
Yes, I have an older sister and younger brother. So I'm in the middle, and I think I'm the luckiest one.
So I can give you a compliment. You're also in the beauty in the family. Like, seeing your sister or your brother, like,
Yeah.
your parents. They're all like fantastic. So your parents,
Yes.
it comes from the parents. And tell me, it sounds like you were very close to your family. You were close.
Three of us, mom, dad, also I remember grandmothers, two of them. I never seen.
Babushkas.
So about grandma, all of them, most of them. So I was for that. But yeah, so big family, also dogs, cats, and it's always like that in villages. So it's never like you do not do that out in the wild. So there's things to do that.
Theater.
I was really active all the time. It was like, for example, my sister and I, so it's two of us only when we did that. Without the brother, the first was brother than 8 years old. So, yes. Yeah. And for example, we
So he's about 14 now. Yes. Must be, yeah. He's about 14 now. Seeing that you're about 24, he's about 14. Okay, continue. I just
it's a
realized.
nice job from both. Okay. In the right moment, right timing. Okay, so for example, if we had, let's call it task, yeah, well, usually it was from father. And maybe your mom as well asked us to do something that's really complicated to explain what exactly. So when he came and said, like, okay, you have to do this part of plan, for example, make it big. And you have my sister listening. And everything what I do, so I have lots of time, lots of, like when I was 8, 12 years old. So I have like lots of people around me, kids, and now like they wanted to be play together.
Yeah.
So that's why they just come to my place, I mean to my yard, help me. It was done everything like 5-15 minutes, and we go out. Yeah, I remember this like clearly, especially this one moment, 12 years old. And my sister was so, why is that so clean? I have to stay here like 2 hours doing this stuff. And she just, and my father told her that I never told him how exactly you have to done it. I mean, if you have friends or somebody else who can help you, so you do it. It has to be done. the way you're doing this, it's up to you. So when I remember this conversation, so communication. You have to know what is communication. Yeah. So this is how my childhood was.
Well, I've experienced this now in the last 2.5 months around you working with him. You just actually I'm quite used to cricket sessions that I teach, and I always think in the cricket team I play for. So I'm quite used to giving instructions and tell people to follow me and what to do. And the last 2.5 months, I haven't given one instruction. I haven't been in a position of leadership at all. I've been a follower. I just say, probably the two words I use most in the day is okay, Olena. This is the.
Did you enjoy your new role?
I'm so used to it now. I've got 4 dogs, that's my city now. And I've literally become like this. I snap my fingers, I say, okay, coming on, okay, come. And Olena goes like this and say, quivers. And I come and I jump. Luckily, I don't have a tail to wag my body. But she's achieved something that no one has ever been able to do. So, yes. So, at a very young age, because of growing up the way you did, the way your father told you to do things, as you call it, in your tasks, you learn skills of leadership, delegating, taking responsibility, and discipline. And those I call it sort of principles, were ingrained in you already at a very young age. Why? That's probably in a smaller town, maybe on a farm. And it leads me to something I firmly believe in. I believe leaders and teachers are born. You can't teach somebody how to be a teacher. I work a lot with coaches and teachers. I see people walking, they've got all the degrees in the world, they've got the knowledge, but they don't know how to get that knowledge across to children. I've worked almost 3 months now with you, and you've got an absolute gift of giving knowledge to children. That is the Friday, like so. On a serious note, it's a gift that you have, and I've seen it now firsthand working with you, and it's a very special talent. And I was wondering, I was thinking all the time you were just born with it, but I can see a lot of those skills coming from childhood.
Well, like I'm just listening to you, and I'm just like, I have this gift from my father. It's what I'm not going to do. Still a bit learning. For example, I'm never screaming, or shouting. Shouting? Yeah, I mean, like, I don't like, shouting. I don't like when somebody, wow, the voice. For me, just like completely red flag. I'm not accepting any information in this moment. For me, just like empty space. So it doesn't matter if there's a father, mother, sister, brother. I mean, it's school, someone else. I'm just like ignoring. And I live in where what's going on. That's so calm. For example, when we were teenagers, my sister and I, she likes screaming like wow, and my face would be so like what's going on, and it made her even worse. And like she didn't respond to me like I'm like what's happening? Yeah, but yeah. So but I was telling my mom that this. So the gift that you said is from father, but we never, and my father would never try to use this, as you mentioned, leadership or something somewhere. But again, it was ages ago. I mean, right now my father is 62 years old. When he was like 30, it was like we are restricting in a country. They all told that you never gonna have your point of view. So. Like even if they told me this story when they wanted to say something in school, they were they were told again like it's you're not able to do it. You don't have to. You just have to follow this and this. So So maybe because of that, they are maybe doing lectures, etc. But again, the technology as well. Because fine in 90s, what do we have? Phones? Like, yeah, we did. Like,
It's like a brick. The old Nokia.
but anyway,
Nokia.
no, Nokia's so Nokia's already future, and they're like, no. But but again, anyway, we survived. My parents. So yeah.
You brought up something interesting. You mentioned that Soviet Union, you mentioned that generation. People probably only 40, 45 in Ukraine would have been educated, gone to school, grew up during the Soviet Union. It was a very different time. And I think very few Westerners, like myself, I had no idea. I know Soviet Union, but I didn't have a clue what it means. And I've experienced this here in Ukraine. Olena just mentioned it. Childhood parents, grandmothers, grandparents, all grew up in the Soviet Union. So in a way, she probably had a lot of those Soviet Union ways installed in her childhood memories, how the way they brought her up. And it's very interesting for me when it talks about that early years experience. And then you grew up in this smaller town. Can you tell us, take us from there to, I know you went to university days, where did you go to university? And your early student days, like this, and then leading on to your first time leaving Ukraine, where you actually left Ukraine and started a new life in another country.
So from this post-human, you say like education, like not after 14, yeah, like it's passed down from generation to generation. Also, my friends, the same age, they're still thinking like their parents. By my parents, they are completely different. My friends, those age when I was a kid, like every Saturday, I remember my friend Julia, every Saturday she had to clean the whole house, starting from window, inside, outside, curtains. And again, there's no this equipment to do it right now. We put it in like, and I was asking like, okay, then is Julia home? Is she don't like to go for a walk? We do bicycles. We had a field. I mean, we're running. We like did this stuff. We didn't have this computer or something like that. But she every Saturday, she hated this Saturday and hated her mom those days because she had to do the things. And then this is yourself feel this like we never been forced to do it like this. And forced to do like we were taught in a different way. For example, like short example, it was winter, snow, winter, nice days, and we have this corridor, yeah, where we take off shoes. And as a kid, we have lots of shoes, and we're really a mess. And 3 days, one by one, parents told, "Can you please, guys, and like my sister and I, can you put it in the right way? Can you just clean it, wash it?" And like, yeah. One day morning, we wake up, we go to school, we just fix our shoes, and shoes were just like thrown away on like outside on the snow because nobody did it like. Yeah. We didn't like, and just like, and my sister, I remember my friend, she already was like in the 40s, something like that, and you know, it's a boys, school, something, but I have to write this. She's bad again, and I was like, like, and yeah, we're late at school because they have to dry our shoes, but this was lesson. And we were asked 3 times, 3 days ahead, do something. It's why I don't like when you repeat, no, you have to do not just. Oh my God, I remember that. I mean, if I lose the chance, it's not even my responsibility, yeah? So if I lose something, okay, it's on me. I mean, all decisions we should make. I mean, nobody can make a decision except me. Yeah, so, yeah, this is like my parents.
And then you left you grew up, and then at what age did you leave your home for the first time?
So after school, I was at university for 5 years. Yes, at the east of city Dnipro, like 90-60 kilometers from my village. And then pole dance studio. So I always, my dream was dancing, my dream was moving or something like that. I was singing, I was dancing at school, but in villages like Olena, I don't know how to describe this level. You know, when the teacher, or I don't know, English teacher, he showed you some movement like this. But yeah, after school as well, I was at university, but it was nothing connected with dancing or something. It was economics, yeah, something like that. English, and of course at university, I say I went to some office. I was hired, and after 2 weeks, I just dropped a message. We already had a phones. Dropped a message like, I'm sorry. I remember it was, I think it was Wednesday. I still remember that. I'm sorry, I will not come. You don't need to pay me for those 2 weeks. I just don't want to be there. This 2 weeks, it was such a boring place. I mean, what a nice team. They still exist. It's all about something with printing, with creating as well. But definitely computers, and it's yeah. And unfortunately, I had a chance to spend almost 2 months doing nothing in drama life as a postgraduated. So I did a great these 2 months, and then I just one day I saw this. It was really beautiful, so high level stuff studio, really expensive place, and I say I would like to try it. So the price was really high there for this lesson, so I said, hey, think about that. And then my sister, she helped me. My sister actually, yeah, she helped me with not only financial stuff. They usually we don't communicate or don't contact each other like every day. But if somehow somebody was like, we need help, so we start to help each other. Because like to stay too long next to each other,
What age did you start this pole dance?
the university, so what? Yeah, 2013 or 14.
Isn't it quite hard to start pole dancing for the first time?
It depends on like what with that. I'm still saying to everyone every 1 year that start to enjoy, explore how your body can be, do something in your life, like your energy. It's never late. Doesn't matter how old you are. And the same with you can go to the gym when you're only 16 years old. I mean, my father who the things he has time right now because he has a little virus and physical work there, but he during the winter when it's not working, he goes to the gym as well.
Age is a number. I always say that, and I had one person that agrees with me. So two of us say age is a number. I think it's negative making that for anything. You started pole dancing at 23, 24. You started cricket age away, but not in your 30s. You started cricket. So a late starter, but what doesn't just briefly about it's more about the cricket, but I really wanted to talk about the person who let's say Olena unplugged, like that. So tell me you walk into the pole studio and then just what happened from there. You started doing classes, you had your own studio.
Yeah, actually it was really quick. So there was new, there still was a lot of teachers because it's like a new way of dancing. Yeah, so I think after 2 weeks, I saw the information that the owner she's looking for instructors. I understood that I'm not able to pay for these classes, so for these memberships. Because again, my sister helped me, and so I found him and said, like, you want to become an instructor? And in her way, like, she always like, oh, it's too long. Like, what did she say? I really like it. She said, I was waiting for you. Why you just like? So, yeah, I mean, because she is a professional gymnastics, aesthetic gymnast. She's unbelievable. Her line, I mean, I fall in love with how she moves, but she's soft. I mean, her body, her muscles soft, so she couldn't pull off she couldn't hold the plant position. I mean, I was new as well, like all these shapes, but I saw it, I did it. I mean, it was easy for me. So sometimes we just saw some, we watched some videos, like, who would like to try? Yeah, come here. Like, can you do like this 5 times, 4 times? Can you jump? And I'm like, oh yeah, let's try. So this was our way to studying pole dancing. So I had so many injuries, twisted, broken ribs, because we had lots of flips, dangerous stuff. We didn't have that because we haven't known that it can be exactly in our studio because we didn't have any experience with that. So you go and buy a call, like, and just like, let's try to make a draw or something like this. Oops, wrong.
Broken rib.
Yeah, I have broken ribs. Like it's not like it's not broken, French
spring.
Yeah, no, this is not the best one.
But you played your wrist.
Yeah, my wrist as well, my toe, yeah, this one. So, and this is a nice way to.
I think you broke this and you fall dancing in the neutral and then you decided to break your wings and really train.
I think that's fine. We didn't think about it like in the links. Well, we run away from something. And like, yeah, that is really like 5 years in this studio. So I ran immediately, so she like Olena moved to here. And she told me like, now, you take responsibility, not like mine, you take responsibility. Like this one. Yeah, but again, all the studio they can survive only if only because of instructors, only because of teachers, not because how many holes you have, also like how beautiful the work inside. Most important, but people become people.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first time when I took students to some European championship, it was I think in Poland, and then Dubai. Wow, I saw that if I'm not there, everything goes like in slow motion. Less people, less money, less income. I realized that, but yeah, I don't know. There was some kind of period in my career before that I wasn't motivated. I've never been motivated by income actually.
Or work pressure.
Yeah, so but I think I needed rest. So if I maybe that's just like stuck in the right moment for the rest. Right. Yeah. So maybe go somewhere for the vacation because during those 5 years I've never been in any vacation. I have opportunity. I have money. I don't like how my family they have, but I really live in this studio because I knew like I'm having responsibility. I have to do that, blah blah blah. New Year party, and Valentine's Day party, do it. Kids, I have like lots of groups with kids. So at least one group with 10 people, 10 kids from 5 till 12, about 18, so they are all fully booked. And only, when this again. So, and I knew, so if I leave, I know they're gonna lose this passion, for example, and again, we lose an income, and I have a responsibility for that, and we just do that. So, but again, it was my first experience to work somewhere for somebody, and I didn't know how I not who I am, or like how exactly I have to do this. You know, like I thought and understand that everyone and everything except myself. So one day I just went to Austria, Poland, then I had some workshops in Italy, some different studios, and then I just it was 9th of April, May, sorry, and I arrived to Edinburgh. So, I mean, I know all is there.
As you saw the castle on the hill and you fell in love with Edinburgh.
Edinburgh actually really nice. Yeah, so I thought that I can leave there. because I didn't want to move to London or maybe Manchester because everyone, hey, Manchester is a nice city, like yeah, lots of jobs, lots of students as well. But the vibe of city, so Edinburgh is really cool. They're more, they have their it's correct to say uniqueness because it's an uniqueness because lots of English people lost. Is it correct to say?
And they
Sorry, they lost people lost this energy. But Edinburgh has it.
the city of creativity. Sometimes I would even go as far as to call it a magical city like Kiev. I was fortunate enough to have a season of cricket at Polo Cricket Club in Glasgow. But whenever I had a break, I used to jump on the train and go to Edinburgh. Whereas myself and Glasgow had very different images. I didn't quite fit into Glasgow, a very hard, working class kind of rough city, and I just didn't fit in. So I played my cricket there, and when I had a break, I used to make a beeline for Edinburgh and go and walk around the castle and just enjoy the energy of Edinburgh. And you can't actually believe that both those cities are in the same country. They are so different. They're poles apart. And then you spend, how long do you spend in the UK? You stayed in Edinburgh?
No, I didn't. I was living in Newcastle at the time. 5 years.
Also doing this.
Yeah. At the beginning, I was like, I had a touristic visa. Yes, so, but anyway, I managed to. And again, no English at all. I can't. Yes, no English at all. So before going somewhere, I translate it, write it, take a screenshot, enjoy, not what it was. Yeah, and somehow again, I feel my profile on social media, I was trying to explain that you need to care about me, you need insurance for me, because come on, the world insurance works, insurance in Ukraine, pole dancing studio, something, are you kidding? I mean, we break ribs. That's how the way we're teaching, not teaching, studying, no. We study this, and then the way we're teaching is completely different. Nice, gentle, polite. And yeah, so I managed to find a way to train in the studio. But again, the level of the dancing there was lower than I expected. Low ceilings, worse equipment for some reason. In London, London's completely different. Edinburgh is not different, but like all other cities, and Newcastle especially. Right now, I know in one studio, there's a high ceiling, there's a high walls, so like 4 meters, etc. So it's a professional one, you can completely train, but you don't have heroes there. I mean, how you can be creative, how you learn.
I must be honest, I didn't know anything about the pole dancing. Really, I've seen Olena's videos on Instagram. But from what she tells me, I think I prefer the studio with a low ceiling, because if I fall, I don't fall that far. Hopefully I don't break it if I just crack it. So the higher the ceiling, the further the fall and the most damage can be done. But yes, and then the next stage in your life, following tough times, I would imagine. I understand the challenge because that's why the podcast is very much called also the cricket nomad. I've travelled around all over the world playing cricket, and I know you arrive in a new city, like I arrived in Kiev, I still don't speak. I know about 3 words of Ukrainian: Sabakis, my dogs, Babushka, old woman, and Mashutka, the yellow bus. If I don't know Mashutka, I will walk everywhere. So I had to.
Sorry, Babushka. It's not old woman. It's usually grandma.
Oh, grandma, sorry, so grandma Babushka. But here they call them Babushkas.
In a good way, it would be maybe so short and rude to say like old woman, hey, you old woman. That's why usually in this age you are
It's okay.
yes, and that's why you like
I'm still learning about Ukraine, but and I love borscht, it's super rich, and I love borscht, and all Ukrainians do. I in particular, I haven't really developed a taste for this borscht yet. I'll rather take a vegetable soup. But you then, so it must have been I can't even begin to imagine what challenge and how difficult it must have been to be in Newcastle, not speaking any English, trying to survive, trying to make a life, trying to start a career. Um, it must have been an incredible, tough time, and also the weather. Let's be honest, I mean, I know Ukraine is not exactly 8 months of sunshine when you walk outside in the sun, but I know that the British winters, I had 11 cricket seasons there, and the further north you go in Scotland, it's terrible. It never stopped raining. So the weather's depressing, it gets dark early, there's often this drizzle, the wind, so depressing weather and not speaking the language, not having friends. It must have been an incredibly tough time for a young girl on her own, trying to find her way. Challenges.
Should I add something? I mean,
You can just say.
I mean,
yes,
come on,
it
it was incredibly difficult.
incredibly.
Again, I'm not 15 years old. I already have, for example, experience again in pole dancing. Yeah, I know I work as well as a nutritionist. Yeah, so I follow the food girls want to get their body fit not only because they do something physically, it's a nutrition, what you can do, yeah, everything about that, health, well-being, and then you realize you couldn't share and this information, you can be helpful.
Yeah, but that's very
And again, people who never studied any other language and never use them, they don't understand how to talk to international, how to talk to people who don't like English, not a mother tongue.
Yes.
So when you try to, can you repeat, yeah, for example, or I said, one more time, or sorry, for them it's just the same exactly, speak, and you just like, one. So I asked about 3-4 times, one more time, and people just like, they don't understand like what to do, how to say this in the easiest way. So this as well, and Newcastle is not a touristy place.
Well, it must have been a bit easier than Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, I don't know why, maybe because of whiskey, but it was easy to understand.
It's probably because of whiskey, because my 6 months in Glasgow playing, in my team, I played for Pollock Cricket Club, beautiful called Pollock, very beautiful part of Scotland. My friend Omar Henry, who is going to be my next guest on my podcast, Omar became a bit of a legend in Scottish cricket. He played cricket for South Africa, we played for club cricket. I played half of my career with Omar Henry. He was the first player of colour to ever represent South Africa, played in the World Cup for South Africa, in Australia. But Olena Henry, in Scotland they call him Mac Henry, and he stayed long enough also to represent Scotland in international cricket. He captained Scotland, and Omar arranged a stint for me at Glasgow Cricket Club. And I recall clearly when I first walked into that changing room with my teammates, I arrived very much the Friday before the first match on the Saturday. I had commitments. I was still playing cricket that week in South Africa. We finished our club season, and I got on the first plane straight from the cricket ground. I had my bags packed, went to the airport, and on Saturday I'm playing a match in Scotland. And I arrived there, and they asked me 4 times. They couldn't get the school disqualified. They asked me what is my name. I said the first answer was I'm from South Africa. The second answer was I'm from Cape Town. I'm an opening batsman. And then they all were just lying on the floor laughing. And the one guy said to me, they asked you your name. I'm Roger. You are? I said, yes. And it took me 6 months. I couldn't understand the word. The Scottish accent. I showed my kids, I lecture at university, and today we're talking about the British accent. And I showed them a video of the 2 Scotchmen stuck in the lift trying to get to floor 11. So I can relate to what Olena went through, and Newcastle probably not much better. I'm going to jump. The one thing I have a problem with Olena, she's always way too humble. She never talk about her achievements. When people ask me about cricket, the first thing I told them is the 100 I scored. When I played for 3 Bridges in the league, I scored 100 and it was all out for about 170, and I got 104. So I'm always talking about my achievements. It's a South African thing maybe. And Olena never, you have to sort of drag it out of her. And I'm going to start. So Olena is a pole dance medalist, world champion medalist. I got it right. Olena, can you briefly tell us, and did you win a medal for Ukraine in your pole dance world championships?
Yeah, 1 year, yes, it was in Dubai actually. I took third place. And so, yeah, I represent Ukraine a few times in my early school dance years. For example, my first performance was actually in London, 2014. After half a year of dancing, I already was in a professional stage for the championship. This huge one. I mean, it was my first fly ever, like somewhere. So it was so stressful. And my best friend is, she's a professional sports, yeah, and she never been taught how to sport. Like she does something 4 years old, and she was like this, like how it's happening. Not right now, but before. And almost now, in her 30s, she's learning how to be sport, like this. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So my first performance there, I was so stressed, so I just completely forgot what I have to do. And I look at these two balls and just like walk 1 second, and so the rules like 5 minutes on the stage. I have some percentage like on the floor. It's called like partners. You have to do some tricks. Yeah. But anyway, I even took the last place because of my smile. Yeah, but yeah. And then actually the last competition was in the UK. National British competition, so I took first place in my category as artistic pole dancing and my age as well. And then I represented the UK in the World Children's Championship in Louisiana. Already it's a nice one as well, and British people, and they helped me with that because again it was expensive. So I just announced it on my social media and said, okay guys, I'd like to represent the UK and I need your help. So let's raise money. And people did. People helped me. I mean, I was like, oh, it was such a bad idea because I felt such a high responsibility for this. And again, yeah, but anyway, I took third place in my category. That is really good achievement again for the UK because in an artistic category, it's really hard. Yeah, so it was actually, I think it was October, and then in 10 days I come back to Ukraine.
You returned to Ukraine.
Yeah, I had a flight to Ukraine.
What year was that?
The first year of the war.
So the war really was ongoing.
Yeah.
So you returned to a war-torn Ukraine.
Yeah.
And you came to Kiev?
No, I came to Dnipro city, to my village. Yeah. And I didn't think I was gonna stay here because I had to like 10 kilo London. And so I had to fly back. Yeah, and I did back up in the castle, and then I realized that something has to be changed. And I stayed here.
And then this brings us to the cricket.
Brings us to the point that my phone gonna die in 2 minutes, and he cannot save it.
Okay, guys, we're going to save this because Olena's phone is going to die. So we're going to save this and we're going to do it a part 2, focusing. This was very much part 1. Who is Olena? And now we're going to do a part 2 with the cricket, which will be shorter than part 1, but
probably even still a few minutes.
Probably even more interesting. If we lose this recording, Olena, I must start doing it. Let's continue doing it. I'm going to stop this recording now, and we do anxiously. You can wait, you can grab a cup of coffee, you can digest all this information. Who is Olena? And you can come back in a couple of minutes. So let me stop this recording. I don't want to mess this up.
I see the pause. You see the pause in the right corner? Yeah.